Welcome to the channel of the World Economic Federation. Today we are discussing what the co-founders get out of it if the Federation succeeds. Since the Federation is based on the idea that the company is transparent so its users, private citizens, do not have to be, we decided that, at least for our family, we will be transparent about what we hope to achieve and receive in return for the value that we are putting into the trusts to fund the Federation. Let's start with John, the architect of the Federation, as his compensation is the most easy to cover. John will get the same exact compensation anyone else would in his position, namely the UBI, the veterans' benefits, disability, and other basic services. He has observed that untrustworthy people have a tendency to be untrusting because they assume everyone else is like them. So he is happy to be dependent on the system we designed should it succeed. If people are to put their faith in his work, he feels that he should put faith in them. He has already structured the estate to see to the welfare of others who helped him get to where he is in life and business, from the families that supported him in his youth to the people who have signed on now and contributed in various ways to make the Federation a reality. Beyond that, he just loves the idea of undermining the paper value of billionaires' holdings on which they access credit, so we can end their assault on democracy. He has never liked bullies, with whatever supremacist behavior they display, classism, racism, sexism, or any other brand, wherever they display it, on the street, online, in the boardroom, in the classroom, and especially in positions of public trust. He takes pride in his service to the Constitution, so having a bunch of billionaires try to destroy the constitutional order, human rights, and the rule of law, while sending service members on perpetual wars for their personal profit, makes him particularly angry. And he wants them to know that if this works, every bit of their wealth and power destroyed was not personal, but absolutely hilarious, and payment enough for him. Nothing would make him happier than reducing their corporations to husks so they can be bought for parts at pennies on the dollar by the appropriate stewardship committees that are under participants' democratic control. Think of it as vulture capitalism at the behest of the working class. You built it as customers and employees. Why shouldn't it serve your interests instead of those of a ruling elite? A ruling elite, moreover, that has used their privileged access to finance to make you dependent on them, all for their own power. Why should your children have to fight wars not of principle but of profit, for colonizers who seek to divide the world and profit from the terrors of war inflicted on another nation's children? Countless service members have been harmed by the ruling elites sending them to fight wars of profit while calling them principled. The ruling class has always been there to profit from the blood of service members and civilians. Fight wars if you must, but never should they be tied to profit motives. There is no just war when war and colonialism is the basis of the global economy. Even just having a competitor that is more interested in sustainability and welfare instead of ever-increasing profits can lead to the destruction of these corporations. As we have noted before, if you kill a CEO, he'll be replaced by dinner time. Someone committed murder, and the oligarchs have used it to undermine civil liberties further while getting special hotlines to sic the authorities on the working class. However, if you destroy your competitor on the free market through better organization and products, serving the interests of the working class, you deny the billionaire the paper value on which they take out credit and the funds with which they corrupt our government, privatize essential services to drive up your costs and their profits, and suppress your wages. At the same time, You can put the industry under a state of welfare capitalism that looks out for employees, serves the communities, and does not threaten your civil liberties. After all, it's under your democratic control now. One might reasonably ask, what if our corrupt government leaders that work for the oligarchy try to curb the Federation's ability to do this through your stewardship committees? The answer is pretty straightforward. This is where the co-founders and you come in. We live in an age where technology allows us to design increasingly distributed systems. This is probably why so many authoritarian leaders are trying to destroy democracy at the behest of the billionaire class, because they want to stop what is coming, and they want to neutralize governments and roll back civil and human rights that they see as a threat to their interests. The realization that Luigi has popular support terrifies them further, as they see the public realizing that they abuse the trust that society puts in them. This support not only establishes precedent for how the public might respond to their own assassinations, but also, imagine if anti-billionaire sentiment to this degree was to gain traction in politics, where the state starts to intervene to protect the working class from the billionaire class. If the people develop a class consciousness, rather than the divisive ideologies billionaires subsidize financially, their privilege goes out the window. Destroying democracy now, before it infects the halls of power driven by the Constitution and the rule of law, is likely the game they are playing. Paying our leaders to be their functionaries, destroying the rule of law from the inside, with politicians that increasingly sabotage government while running on a platform that government is broken. In our next video, we will talk more about other stakeholders of the Federation and how their unique contributions and sacrifices are being recognized by the Federation. After all, we are neither shareholder capitalists nor communists. We are welfare capitalists, so we make it a point to reward stakeholders at every level, and that means not just rewarding co-founders, but all stakeholders, from the planned UBIs, GBIs, and healthcare, to more individual rewards for particular situations. Wealth in our society is generally an accident of birth. Wealth gives you connections, and as long as you play ball defending the status quo, you will be granted opportunities and contacts because of that wealth. The Federation's goal, in contrast, is to create a more just economy, which means it would be foolish not to expect pushback from the current system's powerful and connected beneficiaries. If corruption leads to targeted regulation of the Federation to limit the activities of your stewardship committees, the lifetime allotments funded by the Federation to the co-founders will allow them to place independent investments in service to their own goals of undermining corporations that engage in malignant business practices. But this should not be limited to people who just happen to meet us at the right time to help us in some way. So if everything is based on luck, why not extend this to our supporters as well, through giveaways and achievement awards? To find out more, please join us next time when we cover sweepstakes and awards, as well as the stakeholder and co-founders' compensation strategy. To be notified when the next video drops, please subscribe to this channel and use the bell icon. And if you have ideas on programs that might recognize the contributions of the working class to the success of the Federation, please comment, share, and like this video. With every share, comment, subscription, and like, you can put more fear into the hearts of the toxic elite class in your country and around the world.